All right. So I'm gonna give it a few more moments while everybody joins. This is going to be let me actually change this view real quick. This is gonna be a really awesome training. Probably one of the most high impact trainings I could provide you guys. What I'm gonna show you guys specifically today on this call is how to start taking some of the things that we've talked about, like in other trainings. If you're watching this and you've not watched our other trainings, just so you know, our main focus is teaching you guys, of course, about how to market and get new clients. Obviously, that's very important part of having a business is being able to acquire clients. But being able to acquire clients at profit, understanding your business metrics, being able to set up your business in a way that is profitable, but not just profitable right now, but it has the ability to grow down the line. And knowing, like, more importantly, what the things are that you should be focusing on over time so that way you can get to that point, right? I know a lot of people here, they know the idea, hey, I should be doing XYZ to get clients. I should probably implement memberships. I should probably know what my profit margins are. I should probably increase my prices. But like, how do I know this for sure? And that is what this training is about. Okay, so this is probably the most important training I can share with you guys, and it's specifically on Claude AI. And I Claude AI, it is there's all these other AIs out there, right, that we've talked about that can do all of these awesome things. But Claude AI is the like most deep thinking AI that you guys should be using in your business. What sets it apart from other things is like ChatGPT, it's going to give you a quick answer and it's going to give you a lot of hypotheticals. But Claude uses deep think and it will sometimes take longer to give you answers because it's going to put much more thought into researching your market, researching what you've shared, as well as giving a comprehensive overview. So, what I'm going to share with you here is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to share with you the resources that are here. If you are watching this training, I'm going to show you where to find this training. Let me go ahead and pull up school real quick. For anybody who's watching this training right now, I want you guys to know where to go to find this stuff that I'm sharing with you. So, what you're going to do is in the school group or somewhere on this page where you're looking at these resources. If you're in our school group, you go to classroom and there's all of these trainings, but we're going to go down to where it says call recordings. And this will have all of the coaching call recordings. And this coaching call recording is going to be for Thursday today. And I have all of these links already in here for you guys. As soon as this video is here, I'll upload it here as well. But these are all of the trainings so far for 2026, and we can pull them all here. So this link is going to take you to Claude, where I believe you can use a free iteration of it for like some work, but then you might need to pay for it. I'm pretty sure Tasha, I know Tasha's on this call. Tasha, do you know how much we're spending on Claude? Is it like 20 or 25 bucks a month?
Yeah, I think it's between 25 and 27.
Okay. So it's really not that expensive, guys. And in my opinion, I'm gonna like put this out there. I started using Claude a few months ago now. And before that, I was like die hard chat GPT and I was like, I'm just using it for everything. I started using Claude and it opened my eyes to so many things that I was missing in my business that like chat GPT was helping to open my eyes a little bit, but it just wasn't as comprehensive. Claude completely opened the floodgates and we've experienced a lot of growth over the past few months because I've learned how to use Claude the right way. And I want to show you guys how to do the same thing. So here's what we're going to be going over. Um, in this system or whatever it is, I want you guys to look for the Claude template where it says use me. I'm going to drop this link for you guys as well here in this chat. Let me pull this up. Sorry, I'm looking for my chat function. Chat, here we go. So I'm going to drop this here in the chat for everybody else. When you get to this page, it's going to prompt you to make a copy. Go ahead and make a copy of this. And this is going to be your copy to use however you want. Okay, it's going to have information here for the replay, which I'm actually going to update this here in a minute, so don't click that yet. It's going to have access for all of this, but this is like the base of the training. Okay, so in like if we go to school, we talk about like your business growth, right? Like acquiring clients. And when it comes to your business growth, there are really five core functions of your business. I've talked about this a lot. There's lead generation, right? And so we have trainings that go over lead gen from with advertising and with organic. The second core pillar of your business or core function of your business is lead nurturing, the ability to take leads, turn them into clients, or to nurture them into appointments. Then we have sales, taking appointments, converting them into money. That's your third core function of your business. You have fulfillment, actually providing the service. And then you have ascension, which is basically getting people to pay you over and over and over and over again. Those are the five core functions of your business in terms of growing your business, right? But we need to talk like, yes, this is about acquisition, and that's what a core of our program is. But guys, we also need to talk about the back end of your business, right? There's more to having a business than just getting clients and getting them to pay your money, right? There's more to it. There's the financial health of your business. There's the operational efficiency. There's your team infrastructure, your client economics, and the owner sustainability. These are the five pillars of sustainable salon or spa growth depending on what your situation is. Okay. So just like we have our five core functions of any business, we also have our five pillars for sustainable salon growth. This is what we're going to start talking a lot more about in terms of buckets and a lot of our upcoming calls around our business intelligence and strategy. So I really want you guys to commit this. And this training right here, you're going to be able to use Claude to create a framework around these five pillars. So that way you are able to forecast your business. We're also going to be creating in this a 5-year scale plan for you. This is going to help you create a 5-year scale plan, excuse me, that is actually designed for your unique situation, not some hypothetical BS that other people are trying to shove down your throat. Okay. And Claude is going to do this for you. Now, before I show you, like, I'm going to go over what it's going to ask you. This is not something you're going to be able to do on the call with me right now. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to show you an example of how it works, but this is not something you will be able to do right now in this chat. And the reason why you won't be able to do it is because it's going to take some time for you to actually sit down and do the work. Okay. When I first did this for context, and I did it for Salon and Spa Launch, the program that you're in right now, I was trying to make the program better. It took me about 8 hours of intentional, like sitting down just focused work, pulling everything I need to pull, talking about my goals, talking about what I need to have happen for it to grow and scale. So it took me 8 hours to pull the content together. And then I put it into Claude and everything else is taken care of. Now, another thing I want to share with you guys about Claude, when you pay for the plan, the 25 or 27, whatever Tasha said it was, Claude can remember all of your chats. So when I chat with Claude, it pulls everything from all of my chats. ChatGPT doesn't do that. Other AIs don't do that. So anytime I'm talking to Claude about anything, it's always referencing and leveraging the knowledge it has from any and all of my chats over the last several months now. So it helps to remind me if I'm like veering off course with something. If I'm talking like, hey, I really want to do this, it'll remind me, hey, so it's not actually what we recommend based off of your goals and your plans here. So making sure that you are intentionally doing this is how you are going to really, really get successful here, okay? So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen because here in a moment, you're going to complete the, well, not here in a moment, but eventually you're going to complete this, okay? And once you complete this, there's a lot of stuff underneath here that I'm going to show you. Once you complete this, Claude is going to generate you a 5-year strategic plan that is going to go over all of these different things, all of these different 5 pillars that we talked about. It's going to provide you a detailed financial roadmap with revenue targets and pricing optimization for your business. It's going to cover an operational plan based off of your unique situation for building systems and getting yourself out of the day to day, if that's what you want to do. It's going to give you optimizations or recommendations for team growth strategy with compensation models. I know a lot of us here have really struggled to figure out what should we pay our team members and how should we pay them. This is going to give you all of that. This is going to give you a client acquisition strategy for getting new clients, of course, and retaining them. It's also going to do a deep dive into your unique services and your unique pricing, and it's going to help give you membership and package recommendations based off of your specific services, okay, and your specific products. It's going to give you benchmark goals with specific, like, complete this by this time, complete this by this time for the course of a 5-year timeline. And then it's also going to give you a personalized exit strategy for whatever your version of success looks like, okay? Is everybody following along? I hope I'm not like making everybody fall asleep here. Um, I'm just trying to set the stage for what this is going to cover because it's going to be a lot, but I promise it's going to be worth it. So basically, you're going to go over all of this. And actually, let me show you real quick what this looks like before I show you guys how it'll work. If you go to sample output in this training, wherever you see this link, there's a sample output. I actually did this for a fake salon I called Hannah's Awesome Spa. Goodness, whoopsie. Hannah's Awesome Spa. And it gave me a 5 year strategic growth plan. Okay. So I'm going to actually pull up this one right here, the input. This is my sample input. All of this stuff that you're going to see right here is what it asked me and what I answered. And then I'm going to show you how it gave me the answer I needed. So where it says right here, this is what we're looking at is your document, what you guys are seeing. Starting right here where it says prompt for Claude and down, you're going to fill all of this stuff out where it says answer here, answer here. You start right here where it says prompt, you're going to fill it all out. And as soon as you fill it all out, you're going to take this and you're going to paste it into Claude and it's going to think for however long it's going to think. And then it's going to give you an output that looks something like this. And it's going to give you everything you need, including a year plan based off of your goals and what you want to ultimately accomplish, right? So it's giving all of this information. I'm going to share with you here in a minute what this looks like. I'm going to talk about the input and what it's asking, and then we'll go from there. So, for example, this is the sample input that I gave it. Okay, so this is me doing a fake studio. The first section it's going to go over, the first pillar is financial health, like we talked about, right? That was the first pillar. If we go over here, I'm going to bring this up. The first pillar was financial health. It goes over your revenue, your expenses, your profit margins, the actual money story of your business, the actual situation here. Okay. So in this area, I gave it some fake stuff. I said, hey, so my current average monthly revenue is 20,000. I gave it some information around my expenses, which totaled about $8,350. And when I was talking about expenses, I was talking about rent, utilities, how much I'm paying for my products and supplies, how much I'm paying for payroll. So in this example, I have one part-time esthetician. I talk about my insurance, how much I'm paying for my marketing, how much I'm paying for my software, and any miscellaneous expenses. Okay. Then it asked me, what is my monthly current net profit? Basically, I put that information in. So it's basically your revenue minus your expenses. That's going to be your net profit. So net profit, guys, that's how much is left over after you pay out your expenses. Then it's going to ask you a lot of other questions. I want to dig into these, but I don't want to bore you guys. So I'm just going to kind of go over, I'm not going to tell you all the answers, but it's going to ask like, do you currently track your profit margin? So it's trying to identify, are you actually doing what you need to be doing in your business? Why or why not? It's going to ask you about your specific business goals, or excuse me, financial goals for your business. Guys, be as specific as possible. So in this example, I said, hey, I want to hit $40,000 in monthly revenue within 2 years. That's like a specific goal that I have. I also want to build passive income, so I'm not trading hours for dollars. I'd love to get to the point where I'm only working 25 to 30 hours a week instead of 50 plus hours. This is probably a story, guys, that a lot of you guys are experiencing right now. This is probably a reality for a lot of you guys. What is your biggest financial fear or concern about your business? So get real with it, guys. The more transparent you are about this, the better your plan will be. This is like I talked a lot about how you can clone yourself into AI and how you can do this. Claude is the system to do it, guys. It really is. But before we get to that point, you have to start being super vulnerable about the issues that you're having or the concerns or constraints that you're having, okay? So, I said, my biggest fear is that if I hire somebody or try to scale, my profit will tank. I'm also worried that if I raise prices, I'll lose clients. I know intellectually that's probably not true, but emotionally it scares me. So I'm getting real with it. If money wasn't an issue, what would you invest in or change about your business immediately? So it's wanting to understand what is holding you back and what you would do if that wasn't an issue. Then I know you guys are gonna love this question. When was the last time you raised your prices? Get real with it about that. What's stopping you from raising your prices? Do you know your cost per service for each treatment you offer? So it's pulling all of that information. After you answer this, that's your first pillar, guys. You've just knocked out your first pillar. We have four more pillars we were going to go through. So it's going to ask a lot of questions. It's going to start asking about your day-to-day operations. What are the things you're doing in your business? What are the tasks that you hate doing in your business? What systems do you have in place? What systems do you wish you had but you don't have right now. So you're just giving it as much clarity as you can about what's actually happening and what you wish was happening. Then we go to section 3, which is about your team infrastructure. It's going to ask information about your team, how you're currently paying them. What are the issues you're having with your team? Are you happy with your team's current compensation structure? Do you feel like it's too high, too low? What do you wish it was? Do you want to hire more team members? What is your goal on that? And what scares you the most about managing a team? So it's going to go over some of these. Then it's going to go over more specifically your role and your delegation techniques. So remember, this is about your current team structure. This is about what you're doing because ultimately, your goal, I imagine a lot of you guys have the same goal, which is to not do all of the work yourself, right? So, what tasks are you currently doing that somebody else could or should be doing? What do you need to happen if you want to feel, or what would need to happen for you to feel comfortable delegating those tasks? And then this is an important one. Describe what your ideal role in your business would be. What would you be doing all day if your business was running exactly how you want it to be doing or running? This is really important, guys. This stuff right here, being as structured as you can with this, because when you are super real about this, when you are super in it, this right here is going to give you the direct plan that you need to hit those goals. Okay. Section 4 is about your client economics. This is understanding like your clients exactly, but also understanding how they pay you and what needs to happen. So it's going to ask you basic information about your ideal client. It's going to ask you what your average ticket is, how often they visit. It's going to ask you if you know your LTV, your lifetime value. If you don't, that's fine. Just be super upfront about what you know. And guys, if you're wondering, like, I don't really know how to answer these questions, again, I have a sample input right here, which is what we're looking at. So you can see how I answered these questions myself. What percentage of your clients are new clients versus repeat clients? What do your best clients have in common? What type of clients do you not want? And then we're going to dig into your service menu pricing. So you can see, guys, why this is probably going to take you guys a long time to fill out. This is not meant to be some simple, quick, easy like response and then you're done. You actually are going to have to spend time filling this out. I promise it's going to be worth it. I'm going to show you why here in a bit. But gather all of your information. It's going to ask for your service name, how much you're charging the client, what your actual costs to deliver the service are, and then what your time required is. Now, important right here, your costs to deliver the service. I would recommend that this is like for just product, but if you guys are paying team members, maybe you're paying them like this classic facial usually costs me $8 in product, but $30 in labor. Make sure you incorporate that here, okay? It's going to ask you what services are most profitable, which services do you offer that feel like it's not worth your time, and what services do you want to offer but you don't currently. It's going to ask you some questions about memberships, so make sure you answer that. And then it's going to move into owner sustainability. Why did you start this business? What is it? What does success look like for you? So it's going to get really, really into the nitty gritty of things here. Guys, please answer these honestly. Answer them thoroughly. Don't give like simple one word answers. The more you put into this, the more context you give this whenever you're filling it out, the better your back end responses will be. Okay. And then it's section 6, which is just a 5-year vision. In 5 years, what do you want your business to look like? In 5 years, what do you want your life to look like? And then what needs to happen in year 1 for you to feel like you're on track? So you answer all of these questions, right? Everybody following along, I feel like I'm boring a lot of people. Do we all feel like we're understanding the concept here so far? Yes.
Yep.
Wonderful. Thumbs up. Tasha's so bored. She's like, oh, can we please get to the good stuff?
It's amazing, Hannah.
No, thank you, Tanya. Um, so once you guys fill this out, please again take the time to do it. It is so worth it. Tasha and Brianna will tell you when I was doing this at first, I literally stepped away for an entire week from the company and I focused on cloning myself for an entire week, just cloning my brain. And this is one part of you cloning your brain is cloning the business side of things, right? So take the time when you can over the weekend, do this. And then whenever you put this in, I'm not going to show you, I can show you what it looks like in Claude. This is what it all looked like, but I moved it over to a Google Sheet because I feel like it's hard to read the white text on black background for me. Maybe I'm just getting old. But let me show you. Don't shake your head. My team members are quick. Y'all need to not do that. I'm literally the CEO. Respect, please. Um, I'm joking, but whenever I copied it over from Claude and I plugged it into here, you're able to see the same thing. And this, guys, is listed right here on sample output. So if you wanted to see what it looks like whenever you do this, it's literally right here. So the name of my spa is called Hannah's Awesome Spa, and here's my 5-year strategic growth plan. Okay, so it's going to go over an executive summary. It talks about where I am now, the real problem I'm having, where I'm going, and the gap. So where I am now, it's recognizing that I'm making 20 in this hypothetical, I'm making $20,000 a month. I'm generating roughly 11,000, about a 58% margin of profit. I'm working 50 to 55 hours a week. I'm doing everything in the business. I have one part-time team member. Da, 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 da. My business is 70% repeat clients, mostly word of mouth driven, with strong client loyalty, but zero recurring revenue infrastructure. It's recognizing my real problem being that I'm not stuck because of my market, my skills, or my clients. I'm stuck because I built a lifestyle business that requires me. Every dollar that really comes into this business is relying on me, my time, my energy. And I'm terrified that if I change anything, if I raise my prices, if I hire, if I delegate, everything is going to fall apart. This is like giving some really good feedback where I'm going. In 5 years, I want to be running something that's $40,000 a month, or a business that's generating $40,000 a month with 3 to 4 team members. And I want to have $8 to $10,000 of that monthly revenue be recurring memberships, which is absolutely a good game plan. That's about a quarter of the revenue being memberships. In 5 years from now, I want to be working 25 to 30 hours a week, doing only the premium work I love. My business will be systemized, profitable, and sellable for 800,000 to $1 million in 5 years from now. Guys, this is really important. I'm gonna pause and talk about this. You guys are a lot of you guys. You are the CEOs of your business. You are the only people in your business. I have the luxury, of course, of having a partnership with my sisters, and I love working with my sisters. And I'm so thankful that I have that opportunity. But most people who are business owners don't have partnerships and don't have successful partnerships because it's hard to run a business with partners. Um, you guys are not going to be able to work in your businesses forever, right? Like that's just not going to be something that you can do forever. So we really need to make sure we're considering what does life look like for me when I'm older? What does that look like? And what does that time frame look like? Because it doesn't have to be when you're old. Guys, I'm 33 years old right now, and I do not want to be working in the next 5 years, but I want to retire or have the ability to retire by the time I'm 38 to 39 years old. That is my goal, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys don't want to be working until you're, 75 years old. And I know you guys have seen those stylists and those estheticians that are tired and exhausted, but working because they don't have their business set up in a way where they can exit. This part right here is super important. And when you're filling out your input, it's going to ask you about what your goals are for your business. Are you wanting to exit your business? Are you wanting to sell your business? Are you wanting to pass this down to somebody in your family? Are you wanting to own the business but have the infrastructure to where it runs passively? You guys need to figure out what your goal is because every step that you're taking should take you towards that goal, right? So make sure when you're filling that out, you're keeping that in mind. In this example, I said that I wanted to exit and sell the company in 5 years. So it said in this example, my business will be systemized, profitable, and sellable within 5 years for about 800 to $1 million. So, in my opinion, if your business is systemized, profitable, and sellable, you should probably just keep your business if you can run it without you there. But if you want to sell it, go for it. Get your bag, get your payday. Right. So the gap it also recognizes for you here is it says in this example, I need to double my revenue while cutting my hours in half. That means I have to do pricing optimization, team infrastructure. I have to build recurring revenue systems. And most importantly, I need to get out of my own way. This is probably going to be a lot of everybody's issue here, especially for my soloists. A lot of us here that are working heavily in our business It's important to know that you guys are oftentimes the reason, even though you are the reason why the business exists, you are the reason why the business has revenue, you are also the reason why the business is capped at its growth. That is often the case with most people. I know that was my case up until what, 6, 7 months ago when we started really, really growing aggressively because I got out of my own way after Tasha and Brianna lectured me and lectured me and lectured me. And now we're growing, right? A lot of us here are our own worst enemies and our own primary reason why we aren't growing. So definitely get out of your own way. All right, so that's the first part of it. Then after that, this is the same outputs. It's going to give you a financial analysis. So this is pretty cool, guys. It's going to talk about where we're at right now. It's going to give you your monthly snapshot. It's going to kind of give you just a recap of what that means. And then it's going to give you whatever your pricing problems are if you have any. So in this example, it said, let me be direct. You're underpricing almost everything and it's costing you thousands of dollars per month. Based on your services breakdown and your marketing position, which I guess I listed our ideal clients are with people who are making $100,000 or more. Here's what we're leaving on the table. So it's recommending the service, what we're currently charging, and what we should charge. I know a lot of you guys are like, well, what should I be charging? This is literally going to give you ideas. So for a classic facial, if I'm currently charging $95 and I change it to $120, I'm probably going to have a monthly impact. And this is just immediately. This is not getting new clients. This is just pulling on this simple lever with my existing clientele. I'm probably going to be able to increase my monthly um, earnings by about $400. This massage talks about the increase of price. It goes over all of these services, what that could mean for me if I increase my prices. What's interesting here is it also gave me this eyebrow wax, and it was recommending that I completely just drop the service. So for this, that's really interesting. And the reason why it goes over this, where does it go over this here? I can't remember where it goes over. It might go over it in another area, but it recommends dropping this because technically this, if this service takes me 15 minutes, $25, it's $100 per hour, whereas the other services are actually making me about 120 plus dollars an hour. Um, so like this, even though it's a cheap service and it's a fast service, it's not as profitable as these other services, is why it made me drop it. Now, conservative estimates, just by making these edits based off of it, it's estimating we could generate an extra $1,500 to $2,000 a month immediately from pricing corrections with minimal client loss. Um, so, and it justified all of this right here on why it all, like on why you should give it. So if you're ever like wondering, well, I don't know if I should, it literally just took all of my answers from before and it's giving me the justifications on why I should do this. And then it says, hey, so like you're probably going to lose 2 to 3 bargain hunting clients, but they're not the ones that you want anyways. And so true. Um, then it gives you a 5 year projections for what you need to see month over month over month for 5 years. So let me actually separate this to give this right here. So it's easier. Okay. So year one are, because remember we're the goal was to hit $40,000, right? That's what I said my goal was. And guys, I encourage you, 5 years is a long time. You can have a much larger goal. But year one, my goal is to hit 25,000 or 27,000. I remember I'm at 20,000 right now. So based off of everything, it's saying, hey, year one, you're gonna hit this, then you're gonna hit this. And here is what we're gonna be focusing on to get that. Year one, we're gonna be focusing on pricing optimization. We're gonna do a membership launch, and then we're gonna do some service volume increases. So we're basically gonna try to get more people to our services. Year two, we're gonna grow our memberships. We're going to add another new team member, and then we're going to work and focus on premium services being optimized. And it just gives you like a breakdown of what you should be focusing on. And don't worry, it gets more in depth. This is like very, very like bird's eye view right here. Then it's going to go over profit projections, right? So year one, if we hit these targets, what does that look like profit wise? So profit, it looks like we're maintaining by year five still a 58 to 60% margin. Your annual take home in year five, guys, your take home in year five, assuming this, would be around $288 to $312,000. Who here would like to take home almost $300,000 a year in revenue or in as a paycheck? does not like having $300,000 in the bank, right? Um, what would life look like for you guys if you guys could take $300,000 home? Now, one of the biggest issues, and the reason why I want to touch on this, a 5-year plan, one of the biggest issues that people, or one of the biggest reasons people are not as successful as they could be, is because when they start something, they have really, really short timelines for success. And they're saying, okay, I want to hit this. I want to make a bazillion gazillion dollars in 90 days. And if I don't, I'm a failure. So what we need to do when we're thinking about success, we need to elongate our timeline, setting benchmarks and things like that. And the people who do that are more successful than the people who set unrealistic timeframes. So whatever you're making right now, like your take home around this is not a lot of money, but um, like whenever we go from whatever this is, your net profit being 13,000 to this, that's a big, big, big difference. So keep that in mind. Okay. So we just talked about that part right there. I'm going over what this is going to give you guys with that simple prompt. I want to restate this. You guys don't need to, whenever you're going over this, you guys only need to fill this out, each of these answers where it says answer here. You guys fill all of that out and then you copy this entire thing, you plug it into Claude, and I've designed this prompt to pull all of the information you need. That's all you need to do. Okay. Let me go back over here. So the next thing it's going to give you is it's going to give you service and pricing optimization. So it's going to recommend a new pricing structure for all of your services. This is, in this example, it's saying, hey, immediate action, price increase, implement these over the next 30 days. So it's going to show you what it thinks that you should increase your prices to. And then what's really, oh, here it goes. It goes over the iWax problem. This is where it goes. So you're spending $15 or 15 minutes to make $25. That's $100 an hour, but your other services are generating $120 to $250 an hour. Every eyebrow wax you do costs you the opportunity to book something more profitable. Stop offering it. If clients ask, refer them to a brow specialist. Another thing you could do, guys, if you're like, well, I mean, I got a lot of clients that like waxing, bring on if you have a part-time esthetician or you have like a lower, because this is like a lower level service, right? Lower level estheticians can usually do this service. So in this example, I would pull somebody else on that could provide this if I don't want to eliminate it entirely. If I have enough client revenue coming in from this where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't eliminate it, I would probably bring on somebody who only does that service. It gives a recommendation on how to increase it. So it gives like a email template that we should consider sending to somebody, which is pretty cool. And then it just says, for new clients, just implement the new pricing. No explanation needed. They're right. It's going to give you recommendations for your service menu. Whoopsie, go back over here. It's going to recommend what you should keep and promote, right? It talks about the things you should keep and promote. In this example, my microneedling, my hydrofacial, chemical peel, and facial and massage package would probably be the best things to promote. It gives recommendations for add-ons. So that way we could try to sell like add-ons for these services. And then I'm not going to go too far into these, but you get the idea. Then it's going to talk about memberships. So I told it like, hey, I tried memberships before, but it failed. And it gave me reasons why. It said, hey, you failed because it wasn't actually a membership for profitability. You had no clear value proposition, you had no marketing strategy, and you had no commitment mechanism. So now it's giving me recommendations for memberships based off of my specific stuff. So it's going to make sure that I'm profitable. So it goes over that. It actually gives 3 different membership options. So they get more expensive. And you can of course work this however it needs to be worked with your stuff, guys. So you can figure that out. I'm not going to go over each of them. But what's cool is that these memberships that they're recommending, these are based off of the services I gave them information on. So it's not hypothetical. It's not like, oh, we should try this, this, this. It's literally going off of all of the numbers that you provided. It knows whether it's a profitable service or not, and it shares that information. And it literally says your math. So it gives you everything right here that you need to know. And make sure that you're profitable. So in this example, with this specific tier 1 membership, if I enroll 60 members into this membership, I'll have roughly $8,200 in profit from this membership. So it's going to tell you and share with you that information per whatever your membership options are. And don't forget, you guys could say, okay, I mean, I like the idea of this membership, but what about this? Like, how would you feel about this kind of membership? You can still go back and forth and chat with Claude about this stuff and have it rework stuff in a way that makes sense. Then it's going to give you a launch plan for your membership, which is really interesting. It's going to share with you a member. It's going to talk about like what you should be doing, which is really nice. A lot of us here are like, great, I need to create memberships, but where the hell do I start? Like, how do I actually get this thing off the ground? So it's going to give you a play-by-play of what you should do. So in the first 2 weeks, you need to create a membership agreement. Guess who can help you create a membership agreement? Claude. It's going to have all of your information. Another thing you need to do in the first 1 to 2 weeks is you need to set up payment processing, Stripe or Square, for example, or whatever your system is. You need to set up a simple page to explain your tiers. Guys, you could literally plug this into Google Gemini. You could plug this into ChatGPT. You could create a funnel that has this information where checkout pages are. This is all stuff you can do with AI or with the Manix CRM system. And then in this example, it says train Leah on membership benefits so she can talk about it. This is my hypothetical part-time employee. So train this person on how to talk about the membership so that way they can sell it. Then in weeks 3 to 4, I'm going to soft launch it. I'm going to email some of my clients. I'm going to offer a founding member rate to my first few 20 clients. I'm going to have a goal of a certain number of clients. And then after that, I do a full launch. So it goes over all of the things that you can do. And then it says year 1 membership goal is 30 to 40 members. Year 2, 60 to 70. Year 3, 80 to 90. 30 to 40 members. I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator real quick. Let's say my goal is 30 members over the course of a year. Guys, that's only 2 to 3 people signing up every single month. If you are seeing, let's say, 50 clients a month regularly for your services, you have 50 clients that come in for your services, asking, and you ask all of them to enroll into your founding member, right? You only have to get 3 of those 50 people to say yes. You only need 6% of people to say yes. In that example, guys, that is, for context, usually most people, when they're offering these things, they're getting like 10 to 20% conversions when they suck at it. So you could suck at it and you will still likely still get 2 to 3 people to say yes, even if you suck at asking for it. Okay. And then it just goes over some of the things that we're talking about here, why this is going to work. All right. So we're going over this. All right. Next up. So the part 4 of what this is going to go over is your operational roadmap. So you said if you took a 2-week vacation, your business would shut down. Let's fix that. So now it's giving us a roadmap for how we fix some of the operational gaps in our business. And it's giving you direct action items. So what I need to do, I need to create SOPs for all of these things. So how do I create an SOP? Well, guys, a lot of times the easiest way I create SOPs is I use Loom. If you guys don't know what Loom is, let me pull this up, loom.com. Loom, I've sent you guys Loom videos before. I'm sure if you guys are if I've chatted with you before, I've likely chatted with you through Loom. And this is a simple Chrome extension. There is a free version. There's also a paid version, but it's a Chrome extension where you tap this button and you can film your screen and you can talk to it and whatever. So if I'm trying to create SOPs, what I do in my business is kind of like a hack. I film a video showing whatever it is, and then it goes into Loom. Loom creates a transcript of that. I take that transcript from it and I plug it into Claude or I plug it into ChatGPT and I say, hey, I need to create an SOP that talks about this. So what I'm doing is I'm narrating whatever it is I'm doing. And then I grab that transcript, plug it into my AI, and I say, hey, create an SOP for that. It creates a written SOP. And then I just take that written SOP, plug it into a Google Doc, and I put the Loom recording at the top for reference. So that way people now have a visual reference and a written reference. Takes me about 10 minutes to create an SOP for whatever I need. That is like the easiest way to create SOPs. Now, why do you need SOPs? Eventually, guys, right now, you guys are the service providers. You're also the front desk person. You're also handling all of the admin work. You're doing all of these things. Eventually, guys, when you grow, guess what? You're going to have to hire for those roles. You're going to have to hire a front desk person. You're going to have to hire some sort of virtual assistant. And the more SOPs you have with your current processes, the easier it'll be to hand those things over. So the recommendation here is to create Looms and then just use AI to create the SOPs. I promise it'll make your life easier. Create client communication templates. If you have very specific ways that you're communicating things, have a Google Doc where it's like, this is what I send to new clients for XYZ. This is how I reach out to clients for appointment confirmations. This is what I say to clients when I'm doing a day before reminder. If these are things that you are manually doing, write it down and just focus on that. Guys, this is, if you focus on this for a few weeks or a few months, and like, it doesn't even have to be something you're like, oh, I got to take all this time. You're already doing these things. Just take an extra 2 minutes to record yourself doing it. Take a two extra minutes to narrate what you're doing as if you're teaching somebody, and then just have it on Loom, and you'll have it forever and ever and ever. Okay, that's one of the easiest things that you can do. So it's giving, based off of what I said, it's giving everything that I need to focus on. Next up, system improvements or system implementations. So now it's talking about my tech stack. So it's saying switch to Boulevard or Vagaro. So it's recommending what I should switch to based off of my situation. Um, my integrated booking and CRM and membership program with automated emails. It's recommending a very specific situation for me to help with probably my payroll because of whatever system I'm using. It's recommending that I keep whatever platforms I'm using based off of whatever I'm doing. And then the recommendation would be go with option one, which is right here. You'll claim time, you'll save money, all of that stuff. So it's going to go over your unique situation. And whenever you're going through this, you're going to be talking about whatever platform you're using and what platform you would like to use. So maybe you're using Boulevard now, but you would really like to be using like, I don't know, Forest or something in the future. So you'll explain the benefits of why, and then it'll give you recommendations based off of your situation here. Phase three, based off of my specific example, it's recommending that I hire an office manager. It's going to define the role. It's going to talk about what the compensation for that role would be. It's going to talk about how to hire them, and it's going to have the justification for the ROI based off of how profitable we are. And it's going to keep on going, guys. It's telling me when I should do these things. It's saying based off that, I should hire an office manager around month 6 to 7. Then in months 8 to 12, I should delegate out whatever I'm doing, probably to my team members and the office manager. So it's going over delegate services to Leah. In this hypothetical, that's my hypothetical part-time esthetician. It's talking about what I should do, how I should transition my clients over to them, and how I should compensate this person. So in this example, it's saying I'm currently paying Leah $18 an hour with no commission. But with this new setup, I can transfer her to $16 an hour base plus a commission. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you of course change it, modify it. And it's saying that I should phase out for me my lower end services. By end of year one, I should only be doing these services, whereas Leah can do everything else, probably like the lower end, lower, like less premium services, right? These services probably require more advanced techniques, more advanced training and skill sets, whereas some of my other services Leah can now start to do. Okay. Then it goes over to team growth. This is going to talk about all of the different things I need to hire and structure for. So this is all specific to what I'm doing. It talks about how I should compensate my team members. And guys, if you don't like these, you're like, oh, well, maybe in California, I actually can't do this because of XYZ. And then you should tell Claude and be like, okay, great. Let me do some research on California's payment structures. And then it can give you something different. Then it goes over profitability checks around your team. So it's talking about the labor costs. It's forecasting. It's letting you know whether or not you're actually going to be profitable. All right. Then it talks, this is a big one, it talks about your marketing budget and time allocation. It's going to set a framework and a foundation for what you should be setting aside for your marketing. So in this example, making $20,000 in monthly revenue, I should be setting aside at least $1,300 to $1,900 a month on my marketing, right? And that's for my paid ads marketing. But it also is going to talk about your social media or like any organic marketing stuff, right? So it's going to give you recommended time allotments for how much time you or somebody else that you're delegating this out to should probably spend on different things. So, for example, content creation, 3 to 4 hours a week, email marketing or client communication, 1 to 2 hours, review management, or online presence, 1 hour a week, referral program and community building, 1 hour a week. So it's recommending altogether you're spending 6 to 8 hours. You could even prompt Claude and be like, hey, can you give me like more detail of what I should be doing during this? Um, then it keeps going. You have your year two breakdown, your year three breakdown. And this is for marketing, right? So by year one, if I'm hitting these benchmarks, I should be spending between 13 and 1900. Year two, I'm spending between 1,900 and 2,600. And guys, the more you scale, the more money you have to market so that way you can get more clients so you can scale more, right? That's the whole idea. This is based, if you're wondering, and it's telling you this allotment is based off of a 5 to 7% um, what's it called? Scaling a marketing budget. So 5 to 7%, that's only, and I know it's like, wow, but we went from 20, now we're trying to get up to 27. So around 20,000 is where we're at the beginning of this. You want to start sending this much, but you slowly scale up to this much by the time you're at this kind of top. Then over here, when we're in year two, we are ideally hitting 33, and now we should be around a 6 to 8% sliding scale for our monthly uh, allocation to ads. So this is kind of breaking down how you should spend or where you should spend your money on ads. And this is giving a general breakdown. This doesn't always have to be how you do it, guys. Especially if you're paying us, we'll handle out whatever needs to happen with the allocation. But if you're doing this yourself, you can use this if you want. Some of this information is good. Some of it is just typical AI, not really having as much application. But the amount of money being set aside is appropriate. Honestly, it's supposed to be around 10%, but I think scaling from 5 to 10, because some people, there's, especially when you have less revenue in your business, you just don't have as much money to play around with, right? And if your profit margins are out of whack. But the idea is you get your profit margins in a good place, and then you start scaling your ad budget so that way you can, of course, acquire more clients. So it goes over that and the marketing budget. So you can see that there. The whole goal is to get you to 10%. Um, and yeah, so it talks about maturity, 7 to 10%. So we've got that going over there. And then it has your year by year milestones. So year one, and it breaks it down quarterly. So this is a really, really cool setup. So that way you can see this in a different format. Guys, for my ADHD clients who get overwhelmed by everything, this is going to be super valuable for you. Having this and be like, okay, these are the four things I need to focus on in Q1. Screw everything else. This is all I'm focusing on. I'm going to increase my prices. I'm going to document my stuff. I'm going to at least launch my membership program, and I'm going to try to get 15 to 20 people to sign up. Then starting in April in Q2, I'm going to upgrade from, or I'm going to try to get my system moved from Boulevard to Forest or whatever. I'm going to try to hire an office manager. I'm going to start the process. I'm going to start interviewing to hire an office manager. I'm going to set up whatever I need to set up, whatever my automations are, my goals. And then I'm going to try to hit 25 to 30 members of total people in my program. So it's going to go over all of that. And as long as you're hitting these boxes, it hitting your goals is unreasonable. So it goes over all of this. And guys, this isn't like, I want to be really clear. This is like based off of your inputs. This is all like crap that probably doesn't apply to you because I just threw something together. But like whenever you do this is going to be highly personalized to you. So I really, really recommend, again, being intentional with how you fill this out, okay? So it goes over all of this, and then it goes over your exit strategy. So I said that I wanted it to run itself and generate passive income, and then eventually I wanted to sell it. So it's going over everything I need to do to get to that point. So in year, excuse me, it's going over, excuse me, goodness, it's going over what the buyers would want to see since I want to sell it, which this is absolutely true. Buyers, these are really important things that buyers will need to see for any business they're thinking about acquiring. And it's saying that as long as I follow this plan, I will have all of these things by year 5. It's going to go over what my estimated valuation would be. It's going to talk about what the net profit would be. It's going to talk about how to start transitioning and planning for this, right? So in year 4, I'm going to start prepping. I'm going to hire or promote a general manager. I'm going to step back, only working 15 to 20 hours a week. I'm going to do all of these things, and then I'll be able to exit. Okay. So then it goes over some feel good stuff based off of your situation, whatever you have going on there. And it gives you like a really direct, just 30-day plan. So that way you don't feel overwhelmed. So 30-day plan, week 1, I'm going to do this. Week 2, I'm going to do this. Week 3, and then week 4. So it's taking this really, really big goal, guys, that you have, this massive, wild, outlandish goal that you guys have, and it's breaking it down into little nuggets that you guys can produce and leverage and take care of in little bite-sized ways. Um, but this is a really, I know this is all a lot of hypothetical stuff, but guys, this is a really, really powerful tool and a powerful system. And this is just step one of what we can do with Claude. This can get a lot deeper whenever we get a little bit more of our brain cloned into the system. But that is what I wanted to show you guys. I have this training. Let me pull this back up real quick. I want to show you guys one more time where you can find this stuff. This is probably out of all of the trainings I've shared with you, this is probably going to be one of the most powerful trainings I can give you. And then you guys, if you create this foundation for yourself in Claude, anything that you do beyond this, you feed that into Claude, and it is going to help you to hit your goals faster. It is going to help you to stay on track, to know what you need to do, and it is going to know your business better than you know it, as long as you give it the information, the context it needs. So in our community, in the Salon and Spa Launch program, go to Classroom, go to Call Recordings, and it's going to be the Thursday, February 12th call. I have all of these links already in here, and as soon as the video is done rendering, I'm going to add the video here, so it'll be available in a little bit as well. Most valuable training I could give you is this one right here. Out of all of these other things that we've talked about, this is incredibly valuable. I really, really, really hope you guys take advantage of it. All right, guys, if you feel like you learned something valuable from this training and you'd like to see more content like this, feel free to drop a like on this video and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to check out the links below, where we have tons of free resources, including a 100% free AI marketing tool designed specifically for business owners who want to grow and scale with social media. Hope you enjoy it, and until then, I'll see you in the next video.